and welcome to Pedantic Handwavium, the podcast that tries to explain fictional worlds using science. I'm Simon.
And I'm Jeff.
Jeff.
Simon.
I don't have a beginning for this. Do you? I thought it would come to me in the moment, and I was like, days of the week, like big old trees, giving birth to creatures.
Yeah, no,
couldn't come up with anything.
I think, Mr. Alex Trebek, the question is, what is Norse mythology?
Oh, there you go. And it's what I just said. It's the days of the week, giving birth to animals, and to big old trees.
Yep, that's it. That's the episode.
Yep.
We'll catch you in a couple of weeks, everybody.
Yeah, so this week is Norse mythology. And it seems like we're doing more like the myths that intersect with people rather than the gods' existence themselves.
Yeah, I think for the most part, I mean, you know, they're gods. I don't know how else we would break that down.
They're like
right?
They're like the thing that has to exist in this logical world that we are creating. They are gods. Well, here's the thing. Do we think that God powers? I'm sorry. I'm sure you have stuff you want us to get to. But I'm gonna sideline this because I have done zero of the research for this episode. Which is why I always do the research for the episode, because then I'm invested.
Is that how that works?
That is how that works. We stay on track because I'm invested when I do the work and Jeff doesn't. Here's the thing. Are we going to try and be like Loki's like ability to shapeshift? Are we going to try and explain that?
Well, that is my first point. So if you want to just kick it off there,
awesome.
Go for it,
Let's
bud.
do it. Okay, so if anyone doesn't, well, we got to explain what it is first, dog, man, G.
What, Loki's ability to shapeshift?
No, what Norse mythology? Oh, I guess we already did, didn't we?
Yeah, it's days of the week, trees, and giving birth to animals.
Yeah, so for some, I don't know why, this is now just part of the episode. Norse mythology is the mythology that was, followed and kind of passed on orally by people of Scandinavian descent.
Mm-hmm.
It's like really well known, and actually, what's the writer that I'm forgetting the name of right now?
Is it Neil Gaiman?
Neil Gaiman. I was going to say Terry Pratchett, and I was like, no, it's the other one.
Yeah, no, I might have low-key done 80% of my research today by taking that book off my shelf.
Well, so that's good. It's good you have that book on your shelf. But Neil Gaiman is like the person to go to for the stories that are in Norse mythology, I think. At least in the English-speaking world. I
mean, I guess if you don't want to go directly back to the original source.
I'm sorry, I don't speak whatever it is. What do they speak?
Probably Old Norse.
Oh,
it's not that far off from English, if I'm entirely honest.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of like Old German, isn't it?
I don't know Old German at all.
It's kind of, but it's like very similar to like Beowulf language, which is Old English.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cultural exchange when people were invading other people and languages kind of got mushed together.
The best cultural exchange.
Good old history.
Yeah. All right. So we're talking about Loki is the spoiler alert, not the son of Odin. What?
That's correct.
Who knew? Everyone did. It's part of a very large franchise movie.
What?
That Loki is not actually the son of Odin. He's adopted. He's actually a frost giant.
I mean, like, he's also just Odin's blood brother.
That's right. He's not the son of Odin. He is the blood brother of Odin.
Well,
but he was still stolen
in the
as
comic
a baby.
books, he might. Are we doing Norse myth or Marvel comics?
We're doing,
because there's going to be a difference in those origin stories.
I am pretty sure he was still stolen.
Nah, I think they just met each other on the road and became best friends.
Well, I don't know anything, Jeff. How about you describe these things? And I'll just shut up.
I will. Loki met Odin when they were wandering on the road and became best friends and blood brothers.
You gotta put
Do
some,
you need more? Do you want more?
No, you gotta have some, like, liveliness to it. That's what I'm saying.
That's your thing. That's your jam. I bring us back down to normal to talk about things.
All right.
So anyway, let's just dive right into
Head first.
Loki.
Let's just, like, headbutt it right in the face.
Yeah, so Loki's, like, he's a fun-loving sort of frost giant.
Would you say a precocious goofball?
Yeah, largely. Who, just kind of does their own thing, without much regard of how terrible the repercussions are going to be. And part of that is that he can shapeshift. He can turn himself into little tiny flies.
That's
other
right.
People,
Loki,
stuff like that.
Doesn't Loki get his powers when he, like, takes the blood oath with Odin? I
don't remember that. Maybe.
Now remembering the fact that I
think he could just do that from the beginning. I think that's just frost giant magic.
See, I thought he was like, maybe. I don't know. I now remember the fact that
the frost giants have their own magics. Acer have their own magic. Vanir have their own magics, I think.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I watched Ragnarok, the Norwegian show. And that's how they do it. They have it as that Loki gains his, like, real magical abilities, or unlocks them when he becomes the blood brother of Odin, and their bloods mix.
Could be.
Anyway, sorry. That was tangent.
So, I mean, that's the theme of the show, really. So we want to just get right into how Loki is able to shapeshift.
Sure. I have a question you always gotta ask. Shapeshifting. This is question number 1.
What, do you have a question?
Yeah, sorry. The question is, can he change size?
Yes.
And mass. Okay.
He can.
What I was laughing at was...
mass? I'm not sure. Size, definitely.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like, when he's a squirrel, is it Ant-Man logic? Is it no logic at all? Or... like, when he gets small, does he still have the weight of a full-size man? When he gets big, is he, like, very dispersed? Not,
because he is able to, like, fly around as a fly.
Okay.
Which would be very difficult for a fly to achieve if they weigh the amount that a full-grown man does.
Yeah. Especially like a muscly Norse
conservation of mass.
Okay, and obviously the second question is he hot?
Can be. We will get into those details in my next question, I think.
Okay, good.
But let's solve this one first.
Well, sorry. Oh, I have to ask the 2 first questions of shapeshifting, which is conservation of mass and conservation of attractiveness.
Right, and the answer for the first one is no, and the answer to the second one is we'll get to it in a minute.
Maybe. Okay. So conservation. What are the things that so you mentioned he turns into a fly. Is it turned into anything else? Like
does turn into many things.
Like, what's the largest thing he turns into? What's the most extreme thing?
Man. I mean, I could Google it.
I'm trolling for ideas. Like, what's like the biggest, like, does he ever turn to, like, a planet?
I don't believe he turns into a planet.
Yeah, because that would be crazy.
Hold on, let me just Google things Loki turns into.
Okay.
It's a perfectly normal Google search, I'm sure. Well, this website is useless.
Well, yeah. Well, it's because you're not using this podcast's best friend, which is the Fan Wiki. Fan Wiki. Okay, look at that. Loki. What does Loki turn into? And also, I would like to say that we are not we're not including Marvel. We're also not including the Jim Carrey movie, The Mask.
Was there much crossover there?
Oh yeah, that's what the mask is about. The mask is like the mask that Loki is a mask that Loki makes. I actually think that like
Huh.
the mask that takes over your face, or like the mask that allows you to transform, is part of Norse mythology. Like it's taken in a way weird direction in that movie, but
Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to give it a second watch. I've probably watched it more than once. I'll need to give it a more recent watch. Um but yeah, no. Loki can turn into other people. He can turn into like just whatever animal he wants to turn into.
it seems like it's limited to biologic creatures, biologic things.
I believe so. Cannot turn into
Okay.
like an inanimate object.
Okay. So, I mean, like, obvious, like, first, like, a priori response to no conservation of mass is that he is, like, somehow giving off his mass in the form of energy, which I'm now understanding is, like, a very anime way of explaining that.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, it kind of is.
Yeah, like, I'm thinking about it and I'm like, boy, that's, like, for sure a scene in My Hero Academia. Uh, but okay, but
So he just has like a battery that he stores all that excess mass into sometimes and just retrieves it later.
I kind of like that actually. I like that
Yeah.
better than what I was gonna say. So we're gonna go with that. Yeah, I like, but it's not like a battery like the way we see it. It
Mm-hmm.
it's like a perpetual motion machine is how I think of it. Like the energy gets turned into like a kinetic or thermal energy and then is stored in some
Mm-hmm.
kind of machine inside or organ inside of Loki.
Could be. I mean, it is also within Norse mythology, which has all kinds of just crazy things going on. So it could be that he has like a device somewhere, like just, tucked in the corner of his room, like under a cloak or something that no one's noticed. That just he just stores all that energy into
Um,
or can draw from. I mean, it's in character for Loki to have a perpetual motion machine and not mention it to anybody.
well, so I'm just like saying, okay, I just think that I like it better if it's like a biologic thing than like a mechanical thing.
Okay, so
Because I don't want to
that,
go the route like the Norse mythology, the Norse gods, or like aliens or advanced civilization or something like that.
right, that'd be crazy.
That'd be insane.
Um,
Yeah, who would write that?
so is this like organ? Is that just a thing giants have, or
Hmm.
is this like a bespoke Loki
I don't know.
little cybernetic add-on that he has?
Can what did I say about aliens? Do can other giants transform?
I know other giants can like do illusions and stuff. I'm not sure offhand if they can transform.
So I think it has something to do with the fact that Loki is he completely giant?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they necessarily go into that much background with Loki or how much Loki background we can trust, them being Loki and all.
Okay, yes, because he's got like a whole bunch of parents that are possible.
Maybe. I don't remember. I mean, he's also like a trickster and ne'er-do-well most
Yeah.
of the time.
Well, I think it might be bespoke to Loki. Like I think, and again I know I just said this, but I think it is like something he has done to himself. Like I think he's like
Okay.
a Joker like character, where like he's so unhinged that he like modifies himself and
And he
has
just tucks all that extra self into Like, and I guess, did he develop this organ? Like, where does this come from? Does he just unlock it one day?
Does he just unlock it? I think more what it is here's what I think it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned that frost giants got that illusory magic, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that frost giants have an organ that is like used to produce that illusion, right?
Okay.
That was like used to store the energy for that. And I think that Loki has figured out a way of, instead of converting his mass into light and then storing it within that organ.
Okay. So I guess I can accept it as being like an intrinsic giant kind of thing that they have, and
he's found a new
learned
way to
how to use it in this particular way.
Yeah.
All right. So going on from there, just Loki being Loki, and he can turn into different things, and I guess sometimes some crazy stuff happens when he's in those different forms. Like when he was a horse this one time, and got impregnated by a different horse, and then gave birth to a horse with 8 legs.
Okay.
So, like, the change is also fundamentally changing the genetics somehow.
The biology.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it is, our explanation is an issue as long as he still has the organ that holds his mass.
Okay, and just part of that, like, so it's not, he's also able to change, like, the fundamental genetics of it, or is it that of, like, himself, or is it that, like, whatever... I guess I don't know how else to explain it. I
know what you're saying. Like if he was just like horse biology, but the genetics of giant, then he's a sterile horse.
Right.
If he is, or assumed to be sterile horse, because it's probably pretty different. But so he has to be able to produce like horse gametes to reproduce. Mm-hmm. Here's just a weird question.
I guess we have some wiggle room, though, because it was not a perfect horse offspring.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to exploit that. That is what I'm going to exploit. But was he the stallion or the mare in this case?
He was the mare in this case.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Right.
That's right, because he would have to give birth to the horse. So of course he's the mare. Okay. So, what if he's like an anamorph?
I thought you didn't want to do aliens, Simon.
I don't. But what I'm saying is maybe like he stores the like genetic code of creatures he is around.
He just like plucks bits of hair. He's like, oh man, this DNA is going to be so good.
I hate that so much.
He just like eats it.
Assuming he has so much control over his biology, maybe he only needs one set of chromosomes, and that's why the horse is so messed up. It's like the ultimate inbreed. It's a clone.
Right.
What about that?
I don't know if that really explains it that well.
Because once he takes in the genetic material, okay?
Okay.
He takes some of it and he turns it into eggs because he's got that control. He can change his own organs. Why can't he change the organs?
Okay, so it's just like,
else?
is actually Loki has very fine control to edit like anything and everything about themselves.
Yeah, not the... for some reason I'm drawing a hard line genetic code. But... What I'm saying is that Loki has the ability to control like the organelles that are inside of them, and
so like all of the
like the sperm cells, he
like
turns into
somatic
eggs.
cells are like still Loki DNA,
Yeah.
but like egg and sperm that is produced while he is in like a different form, he uses the DNA that he's like borrowing to be in that form.
No. Well, maybe. That sounds completely plausible. What I was saying is that he is all Loki DNA. When he gets inseminated, he takes some of that material that has horse DNA and he controls it and turns it into egg cells. And then he inseminates the egg cells he just made with the rest of the sperm cells he had.
But well, I mean, and I guess no. Here's the problem with it is in unpacking like the myth that this story comes from a little bit.
Okay.
Like
unpack away.
Loki didn't necessarily plan to give birth to a horse. He was trying to distract a horse by being a
sexy mare.
And actually this answers your question 2 from earlier, by being a very attractive mare and
good.
distracting another horse. And he got caught one day. So he like didn't necessarily want to have this horse.
So, but like, okay, so my idea is out the window. My idea is bad and doesn't make sense. Maybe he forgot about it. Maybe he did it and just forgot he did it.
Just one day. Oh, that's right. I have this horse growing in me.
Okay.
Well, now that I have provided that additional information for you, let's revisit my idea that like the new like gametes that are produced while Loki is in a different form.
The only issue I see with
that form
is that at least in most mammals, you don't produce eggs.
Yeah,
you are born
I
with them.
thought about that as I was saying like that last sentence.
Oh, good. So it occurred to us at the same time. We were like, "Oh, that's right. That's something that happens."
I don't know. I don't have a great explanation for that aspect then.
Yeah, me neither. I would say maybe okay.
He stores the genetic information of what he turns into as eggs. And now he just can't turn into that horse anymore because it got used up by that other horse making a new baby horse.
So you're saying like the thing that he uses to store DNA are eggs. He just has like a uterus full of different creatures' eggs.
That is what I am suggesting.
I like this because I'm assuming I keep on knocking my microphone onto my lap. I like this because
a normal thing.
I am assuming he turns into things that aren't mammals and therefore have like hard shell eggs like chickens.
Right. I mean, at no point in any of the myths that I know was that contradicted. So could just have
I like this idea.
Hard-shelled chicken eggs inside him all the time.
I like this idea, and I'm actually going to go one step further.
Oh, good.
I think Loki stores the genetic material inside of him as gametes, as sperm and egg, and when he wants to transform, he combines them.
Okay.
And that's what he used. So he has like a whole bunch of eggs inside. He's like those creepy spiders that like float with their egg sacs. So he's like full of eggs and full of sperm.
Right.
But it's only when he wants to turn into a creature and he's like, I've got to know how the biology of this creature works. He goes, boom, baby creature. How is it supposed to grow? How is it supposed to form?
And then he just does that.
He just like speeds up the process. Yeah, he provides more material and more energy for that process.
Yeah, I guess I can accept that.
I just like the idea that he is just full of eggs.
Yeah, no, that's why I want to accept it, because I also very much like that aspect.
Like, you cut him and just eggs pour out of him. And
Right.
it is like the grossest thing you could possibly conceive of. Because nobody
100%. Yeah.
Nobody wants eggs to pour out of anything. In fact, the words eggs and pour should never be in the same sentence.
Uh-huh.
Unless there's beaten in the middle of them. At the beginning of eggs?
That's all it takes, huh?
Well, because I'm trying to scrambled eggs is a sentence I'm fine with. Pour scrambled eggs. Pour beaten eggs. Mm-hmm. But I'm not fine with eggs pour out of...
a person.
A grown man, yeah.
All right. Do we want to just kind of riff on Loki eggs for a little while, or do we want to talk about the well that Mimir guards that gives people wisdom?
Tell me about this well. What's his name? Mimir?
Yeah. Well, actually, I kind of told you all there is to tell. In one myth, Odin made his way there and told Mimir, like, hey, I'm your nephew. Can I have a sip from this well? Mimir says, no, absolutely not. Odin presses, like, oh, come on.
Yeah, because he's your nephew. You don't give anything to your nephew.
Right.
You know them. You don't give
but Mimir was willing to exchange a sip from the well for Odin's eye. So Odin just popped it out and took a drink from the well, and wisdom flooded in him, and he could see clearer and further than he ever could with two eyes.
Okay.
So just wisdom. It grants the ability to be wise.
So I like this because it's not intelligence, right? It is wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Okay, I know we go back to it a lot, but what if it's like that season of Futurama, that episode of Futurama, where
it just has parasites?
Yeah, who make them smarter and faster. Has it ever occurred to you that Futurama is got some pretty great
writing
building
in it?
Yeah.
Accidentally or not, I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of I also like the idea that it just has parasites in it that massage your brain into being more wise.
Well, so, okay, I think what we gotta break down is what makes someone wise. And I think it's experience.
Right.
And I think it's not only experience, but I think it's clearly evaluating experience.
Mm-hmm.
So understanding what brought you there, what happened, why did it happen, accurately, which is this is a very difficult thing to nail down. Maybe
it has
just
more of an ethereal kind of vibe to it than just straight up being smarter, you know?
Maybe it's LSD.
And now he's just high a little bit all the time.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if there's going to be something that's going to, open your mind, it's going to be LSD.
I mean, I can accept it in that, it's not necessarily wisdom as, the average person would describe it, but wisdom in that Odin is making connections and leaps in logic that other people wouldn't necessarily make, and people just remember all the times that it worked out and not when it didn't. It's oh man, that's some good wisdom Odin drank.
It sounds like you had already solved this.
I mean, I am working off of your LSD suggestion. If it sounds like it worked really well, it's because I made it good.
I want to take this one step further. I think in this world, vaccines cause autism, and Odin is now just autistic. He is just kind of removed like the social aspects of his decisions, and in doing so, he makes very like calculated and well thought out decisions. Like he's like Homo economicus because he's removed this. I don't mean to say that like autistic people are like soulless or heartless, but like he has like a diminished like social aspect to his brain, empathetic aspect of his brain. And it allows him to make these kind of cold, calculated decisions far more easily.
Okay. So it's just kind of whatever part of it... like, I don't want to say necessarily, like, made him more, like, introverted and less wanting to, like, worry about what other people are on about.
I think it's like heavy metal poisoning. I think, like, parts of his brain have died. And
we can go
parts
with
of his
that.
brain that are associated with like this like socialness, this the at least in decision making, like your decisions obviously have impacts on other people, but he is not affected so much by like I want to have the best outcome for me. It's more my goal is, you know, the best outcome for everyone. What's the most likely best outcome for everyone? That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like he's got like a more logical.
That.
Yeah.
I like that. Mm-hmm.
I like that too. It's better than that, and I think that was a good little walk we had from LSD to
from parasites to LSD to maybe a little problematic explanation on autism back to not a problematic explanation on autism.
Yeah. Sorry about the problematic explanation on autism.
You corrected it. We're good.
Yeah, but
It's part of the process. The process is important. It's character growth. We saw a good arc here.
These are seasons that we're releasing. They're all what our listeners don't know is that these are all interconnected episodes. And
you have to listen to them like every other episode. Because
we got a lot of filler.
And then you'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I trust everybody.
Yeah, like the time that Bleach had all those episodes about the soul that was filling Ishigo's body, and he like runs around being a superhero. Yeah, we have a lot of those. You know what I'm talking about. Yes,
exactly. So while we're here, and we're making friends with Mimir,
I love
there was
Mimir.
A time.
This guy has a contaminated well. He is right up my alley. This is the first time my degree has been useful in this show.
Right. So it's not all, good news with Mimir and his contaminated well. He was sent to be an advisor for some fellow, not important. And the people, long story short, cut off Mimir's head and sent it back to Odin.
Okay.
Who then rubbed it with herbs to prevent rotting, which that's easily explained. We're not going to get into it.
Yeah.
But did also, chant and say different rites over the head, and it came back to life.
Okay.
Just a normal guy, but only a head.
Okay.
How do?
Here's the thing I want to know about Norse mythology.
Right.
When people die, what happens to them?
Depends how they die and who they are.
If someone fairly important gets beheaded, where do they go?
If a named character in the myths die.
yeah, exactly. If a named character dies, where do they go?
I think most of the explanation on what happens when people die is when humans from Midgard died, because it is Norse myth and was
it's pertinent to people writing
religion.
Yeah.
Right. So they would explain what happens when lazy people die of old age as opposed to what happens when you die in a glorious battle. I don't know if they necessarily go into what happens when, like, Vanir or Acer or Giants die.
Okay. Okay, so what happens when you die when you're lazy versus when you are like a cool dude?
You go to Hell, which is ruled by Hel, who is also Loki's daughter.
Oh, that's convenient. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's funny how those names work out, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's when you're lazy, and when you're good, you just go to Valheim.
I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, no, it's whatever the
I think
giant
Valheim,
mead hall
Valheim
in the sky is. Valheim's a game. I think Sovngarde is from Skyrim. I don't remember if that's actually Norse myth.
Yeah.
But it goes to like the actual Norse myth version of Sovngarde, where you kick it in a mead hall, partying all night, fighting all day, and then coming back to the mead hall after you die to party all night, and just lather, rinse, repeat.
Okay, so what I want to know is that like your soul or your body, or like, because like
that
I'm thinking
is
like
your soul.
Okay,
but then they're also kind of corporeal later on in Ragnarok.
That's what I mean. Like, not Prometheus. Who's the dude who pushes the rock? Sisyphus. Like, physically escapes in Greek legend from Hades. And is like a body at that point. Like, he still has his body. He still is walking around and doing things.
I think there's one dude who made it out of Hades.
Hades?
Yeah.
And are you if you're gonna say that it's Hades' son, whatever his name is?
I also don't remember his name.
You would think the number of times I played Hades, I would remember his name. Yeah,
me too, right? I can't remember the name of the actual person.
So Sisyphus' first crime is dying and escaping death. And then when he dies again, that's why he's punished to his punishment.
I don't remember why Sisyphus was in Tartarus, so I'll take your word for it.
I believe that's what it was. He's a king.
Could be. I could tell you why Tantalus is.
But
this is all getting into Greek myth and not Norse myth.
But that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, is it possible that when you die in this world, your body is still like you still have like a
when you die, you do leave a body behind. It might be like.
I mean, obviously you leave a body behind.
It could be like when you pass between like the different realms.
Okay.
Like I don't know. There's
what I would is, does your soul have a corporealness to it? My computer is freezing.
I think no, but I think like the energy transfer needed to like get between different realms, like from Midgard to somewhere else, or somewhere else like back to Midgard, like there is like condensation of matter or something that happens on your soul. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm using my headphone mic, so the audio for this episode is going to sound real rough.
Very good.
Because Audacity doesn't like
swap it midway through, and
I can't
call it good.
And unless we want to count again, I can't swap it midway through.
Oh man, I can't count the first time.
It's up to you.
Nah, it's fine. Like I'm hearing the audio, and it just sounds okay.
But I think
it doesn't sound like you're using a telephone.
Audio from my. So here's the thing. I'm using I somehow figured out how to use two devices. And I've been recording with my headphone jack, which is now blowing out now that I've released it from its cage.
Okay.
Because I was like, why is my audio so quiet? And it's because it's not near my mouth at all.
Good. Well, we can try to count again if you want. I don't know how confident you are about your headphone mic.
It's fine. We'll just use it. It'll be good. It picks up stuff. It's just quiet and it just kind of distorts stuff. But
I see.
It's fine. Okay, so you think that there's like a corporealness to when you come back to the world, right?
Right.
So what I suggest is that the soul, okay, of a person needs to inhabit their whole body. Like they need to have an equivalent soul and body to live, right?
Okay.
So if you only bring back the head, only the head is going to be alive.
Okay. What, like, I get what you're saying. So when, like, Odin called Mimir's soul back, only the head of Mimir's soul came back, right?
Yes.
How does the head stay alive? Is it like the animating force of the soul? Like, do none of us actually need hearts and organs or anything? Is it 100% the soul keeping us running?
Here's the thing. Boy, my audio is very loud right now.
It's fine. Just change the levels on the fly.
It's what I've been doing. It's having a rough time with it. So here's the thing. Oh, that's a good level right there. Here's the thing. What I think is going on is I think you're much like your head needs to be cut from your body. Your head soul needs to be cut from your body soul. So they're all connected. So the reason you die in this world is because your heart, stomach, brain souls leave and they bring the rest of the soul with it.
Okay.
And what Odin is doing is commanding someone on the other end to cut off the head soul, send it back. Now you might ask, what's a soul? How does it keep the brain alive without like energy and nutrients and stuff? Here's the thing. I think
don't know.
I don't know. No, I think that the body and the soul are always like entangled. So as long as there's like guys on the other side pouring milk down the throat of this guy,
you know what?
Guy's neck, he's gonna
have an idea, and it's that.
Oh, thank God.
Odin brought like all of Mimir's soul back, but the rest of Mimir's body wasn't there. So like,
he's just
if you're looking through like soul vision, like you see
he's
all
a little boy
of Mimir, like there, just like flopped on the table, and just the head is like the corporeal part. The rest of the soul's there, just it can't do anything because there's no body to do anything with.
Gotcha.
But like the soul is still doing all of the like, you know, like metabolism and all those boring things that you'd need to keep things alive.
Okay, but so okay, I get what you're saying. You say that his whole body is there. Like
the whole soul body.
I mean, like it's the. For some reason, I'm hung up on the size, and I don't know why.
Well, it could be like, okay, sure. There's like entanglement or something. So like the soul.
No, we can throw my idea out.
Complete.
I'm fine with that. What I'm saying is, boy, this mic is like the closest thing to my face, and it's so loud.
So what, now that you've bought yourself some time to think of the rest of your explanation, what issue are you having with, you say size? You're having an issue with size?
Yeah, like I'm thinking is like, are you imagining this as like the Mimir's soul is like attached to his head and it's just being dragged along behind him?
100%. That is what I'm saying.
Okay, that's what I was like wondering. So my question is, when he eats things to sustain himself, does he need to eat soul food or does he need to eat regular food?
You know, I think they had some good soul food cooking up there in yeah.
Like shellfish and beans and rice.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a large genre of food.
I
don't know if we have to unpack all the different dishes that Mimir might be eating.
But he's got to eat the soul. He can only listen to soul music. He can only do a lot of stuff. Wait, so that's what you're saying, that's what he needs to eat his soul for?
Well, I mean, yes. If we want to really commit to the bit, yes, he does.
Okay.
But really, all I'm saying is it's a corporeal head being like dragging around the soul body.
An incorporeal body.
Yes.
I have solved my mic issue, which is to put my microphone behind my pop filter and then talk.
I hope it sounds good in Audacity because it sounds awful over Discord.
I am sure, because I'm also right next to my very powerful mic. Here, let me turn that shit down for you. Is that better?
Yeah, that's a little better. You're good.
Okay, it can keep going.
Okay. So what else do we have? We got...
Oh, we're just leaving that. Okay.
Well, I thought you said we can continue. I thought you were content.
I'm good with. I have no better explanation than for somehow they brought back part of a soul and attached.
No,
the
they
head.
brought back the whole soul. It just only had a head that could slot back into.
So here's the question: why doesn't it slot back in the body?
Because the body's not there. Odin only got sent the head.
But so Odin it has to go to Odin. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the question is, how does it remain functioning if it doesn't have
soul
calories? So you're saying that like souls can digest?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Well, that's what they do in actual Sovngarde that I don't remember what it's called. Man, this is like
it's true.
A horrible thing to forget.
You would think
like
you would remember
a pretty basic thing in Norse mythology,
right? And like everyone in every Norse show possible shouts Asgard. No, that's not what it is. I swear. Valhalla.
How could both of us have forgotten Valhalla for so long?
Yes, it's Valhalla.
Man, we are bad at things.
Yes. So Valhalla. Yeah, I agree.
Right.
They do have to consume food in Valhalla, and that enables them to fight. So fine.
Are we ready to move on? Are you satisfied?
I just wanted to make it internally consistent. That's all I wanted.
Okay. So now we have, what's this fellow's name? Balder, who is the son of Frigg, who can't be hurt by anything.
Good.
Because
that seems easy.
Frigg went around and made everything that can hurt a person promise her that they wouldn't hurt Balder.
Wait, so like a sword, she was like, hey, sword, don't hurt my son.
And the sword said, yeah,
sure.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm down with that.
How does one get promises from inanimate objects?
I think the promises are not literal.
Okay.
I think the promises are
metaphorical.
Yeah. What I'm saying is I think that she devised a way of making sure that every material wouldn't work on her son. Ooh, I just hit myself in the face with the pop filter. And
we've all been there.
And so you know how I was making that joke about you having to hold your microphone like a stand-up comic?
Yeah, is that what you're doing now?
I have to hold my pop filter like I'm a stand-up comic between me and my mic, or else my audio is bad.
Good.
Yeah. All right, there we go. Yeah. So I think, what's the deal with Balder's ability to withstand all damage? So what I'm thinking is maybe it's not like all like maybe what she did was she was like all things that hurt people are made out of atoms, and my son isn't gonna be affected by atoms.
Okay.
Not atoms, A-D-A-M-S, A-T-O-M-S.
Only people named Adam.
Yeah, he's only named Adam.
And here's the thing that will kind of blow up that spot is
oh, good.
Mistletoe never made that promise.
Ooh,
and
okay.
can and did kill Balder.
So you hid this from me.
I did.
You tried to be tricksy.
I am a tricksy boy.
And I fell right into your trap.
You activated my trap card, Simon.
Okay. Maybe it's like immunity. Maybe she just like beat the shit out of her kid with everything that could kill people until he was immune to death.
So help me God, you're going to be immune but to swords.
That's like the kind of the best idea I have. What about like what if it's like so here's the thing. What would make someone immune to damage?
I think probably what would make someone immune to damage would be getting a promise by that thing to not damage a person.
Helpful, really. That's a very good guess. And okay, so here's the question I have that's better than that.
Right.
Can he be damaged by these things, or can he not be killed by these things?
I think it's that he can't be damaged by these things, because in the story people are like shooting arrows at him and they're just bouncing off of him.
So I honestly think this is my honest interpretation. Honestly,
right. Now I want you to be honest here, Simon. Don't lie to me.
I think that she just invented body armor for him. Like, he's just very strong. So here's the question: How does the mistletoe kill him? Does he eat it?
No, he gets shot by it because it was attached to an arrow.
Oh my God! Why don't you make these things easier for us old Scandinavian people?
Yeah, and I mean, like, he's immune to other poisons and stuff, though, so it's not necessarily body armor. But I don't know what other sort of tack to take on this one. I was kind of hoping you would drop a little nugget of wisdom that I could nurture a little bit, but
you thought I was going to.
I'm still waiting for that nugget to fall.
Listen, sometimes I'm spent, and sometimes I have a difficult time thinking of a way. Like, maybe he's just like, because the thing is that he's immune to poison, he's immune to damage. Ooh.
So let's think outside the physical box. Do you have an idea?
I got an idea.
Well, give me your idea.
So my idea is that Balder is really like he's really like the T-1000. Like, he's like, or the T-100. He is a robot, like an automaton that single weakness is whatever you said, mistletoe.
Right.
And yeah. Wait, I'm sorry. They attached it to an arrow. So the arrow didn't pierce him, but the mistletoe did?
I don't 100% remember. It was Loki doing Loki things. He might have turned mistletoe into an arrow, or like covered the head of an arrow with mistletoe or something.
Okay, because mistletoe is a poison. It is poisonous to people.
Okay, so it could just be that then. Like, you know, that little minute nick that happened when the arrow hit him that otherwise wouldn't, do any reasonable damage. It just causes little tiny micro cuts or something. And that was enough for the mistletoe to get in there and really do its dirty work.
Really get in there. Really.
Yeah. And I mean, Balder didn't have any other sort of natural immunities because he wasn't able to be affected by anything else.
Yeah. So, what I was thinking is maybe Balder is like the alien. Remember that scene from Men in Black, where the very small alien is living inside the man's face? Right.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's like that, but it's Balder and its own face. And so the mistletoe can diffuse into the body cavity of Balder and therefore kill the little Balder that's inside.
Okay.
That's gonna be my poetry book name when I create my compilation of poems. It's gonna be Killing the Little Simon Inside.
The man who lives in Simon's face.
Yeah, the man who lives in his own face.
See, I think that's not the worst possible explanation if we want to keep it like, in kind of the physical realm of it. Do we want to kind of explore the more like metaphysical kind of space and explore the other realms that exist in Norse mythology? Like maybe those things are like actual sentient things that share space in like physical space in Midgard or something. Does that make sense? So they live
all the human versions of them are copies of the original sentient versions in some weird world.
Something like that.
I still don't know how so if I go to say a different planet and I copy a sword, a man who has swords for arms, and then I ask the original man not to kill me, that doesn't mean the copy I've made won't kill me. That's the issue I have, is that I don't see how the copy carries the intent of the original, or how the child carries the intent of the original.
Okay, well, do we want to bring up the entanglement idea that you wanted to touch on earlier and then didn't?
No.
That's fair. I didn't really have much of a direction to go here. If I'm entirely honest, I just kind of threw it out there because I'm not super happy with the other explanation. But I didn't have anything to back it up.
This is the first time I'm hearing of this. You don't like men living inside of other men's faces?
No, I think it's wrong and against God.
It's Adam and Eve, not Adam in another man's face.
Not Adam, not a smaller version of Adam living within Adam's face and Eve.
Boy, those religious arguments are getting oddly specific and directed at our car podcast.
I mean, like, we can stick with Baldur as a tiny Baldur living in Baldur's face. I honestly don't have a better explanation than that. Despite
I heard you like Baldur, so I put Baldur inside of Baldur. Now you can Baldur while you Baldur. Sorry, you were talking.
No, that's fine. It was a good backdrop to me talking about how bad your explanation was.
Okay, how about this? It's all psychosomatic. Loki convinces Baldur that the only thing he is immune to is mistletoe, and so the only thing that he's
I'm just gonna stop you there because there's a lot more of that story that I didn't get into because the details were kind of irrelevant. Except now they're relevant. Well, it's Baldur's brother, who is blind, shot Baldur with a mistletoe arrow. And Loki turned himself into an old woman to talk to Frigg to find out what could hurt Baldur.
Okay.
So, yeah, it wasn't relevant, really. Moral of the story, mistletoe is the only thing that could hurt Baldur.
Gotcha. So it is actually mistletoe.
Right.
What's unique about mistletoe? Nothing. Nothing's unique about mistletoe.
Not a single thing.
It is the omni plant. Just like lettuce. It's poisonous. It's spiky. It's got red berries. Did they try other poisons on them?
I don't believe in the story they discussed using other poisons and stuff on them.
There we go.
But he's described as being immune. But yeah, no one verified it.
I think he's immune to a lot of poison. I think it's two different things we're seeing here. Okay. I think one is he's immune to poisons and disease. Apparently, maybe, I don't know. Did anyone do like a punji stick? Did this Greek mythology story take like a slight dive to Southeast Asia?
I don't think so.
So I think he's got his immunity. He's got his invulnerability. Invulnerability.
Got it.
And so what I think his invulnerability is he's just really tough. His skin is like crystalline or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
So nothing that's like human generated can pierce it. So we haven't seen him up against like a nuclear device. A nuclear device doesn't need to be tipped with mistletoe to kill Balder.
That's perfectly reasonable to me.
And let's assume we only have poisons that are available. So it's not like he's not doing like asp poison or like tree frog poison or like rattlesnake venom. So maybe the thing is that like she just like did the Sicilian gambit and made him immune to every poison by slowly dosing him until he was immune.
All right, so he just is a very tough boy who has been microdosed with almost every kind of poison.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Does that sound more or less realistic than a boy in his head? I
like it more than a small Balder living in Balder's face.
And you're wrong, but it's fine. This is the episode you're leading, so.
It is the episode I'm leading, and here we are.
Here we are.
What do we have? I have a handful of things left. Do you want to do another one? Or
let's do one more. I don't know how much. It depends on how bad this audio is. If I'm gonna be like, maybe I'll just like cut it short.
Yeah. So we have, and I'm going to say this wrong. Naglfar, I think.
I think you said that great.
Which is a boat made out of the fingernails and toenails of the dead.
Okay.
The first thing I want to get into.
Gross.
Who's collecting all these dead people's nails?
Well, so here's the question I have. Did you just want to bring up the fact that this is a boat made of fingernails and toenails of dead people?
Well, not dead people, but the fingernails and toenails of dead people.
But I'm saying...
But yes, I did want to bring this in because it's a very silly boat idea.
Okay, so... I mean, anyone could be collecting it. Like, I'm thinking, like, you know that cult? Is it called the Dawnbringer Cult from Oblivion?
Okay.
I feel like if you got a cult like that, they would for sure harvest toenails.
Okay, so it's just... literally a group of people...
Or it's even
working
better.
with hell.
Yeah,
digging up corpses.
You don't even gotta do that. You could just kill a bunch of people and steal their toenails and fingernails.
Well, yeah, it's the toenails and fingernails of everybody.
Yeah, so it's like how like it's like trophies for winning a war, but instead of keeping like hearts or ears or teeth, you're keeping fingernails and toenails and making a boat out of them.
Right.
Okay.
So it's just some weird cult who are like ordered to go out and gather nails from dead people.
This completely seems like something that could exist in our world.
All right. I mean, I'll take it. I'll accept that as an explanation. That I enjoy the idea of someone digging up my corpse one day and only taking the nails and like giving my corpse a gentle kiss on the forehead and putting it back in the ground.
Well, maybe don't do that because formaldehyde is really toxic to skin.
I mean, I'm not the one kissing myself on the forehead.
Well, no, I'm instructing our listener.
This is the cultist.
Yeah, who's listening to this in, I don't know, maybe 2035 and is digging up your long dead corpse. Maybe 8 or 9 years. Boy, I regret making this joke. It's bad.
I mean, I've been eternal thus far. It's bound to end sooner or later.
And that is what I regret about this joke is that
is how little time you gave me.
Yeah, I gave you like 10 years. And in my brain, I was like, "Oh, this is a funny thing," and then in my heart, I was like, "No, that's very sad. I don't want to think about that." I understand that Jeff is old, but he is eternal.
Right. I will never die because I choose not to.
Exactly.
That's all it takes.
Is there anything else about
really
this boat?
isn't true. Yeah, I mean, the only other thing about that boat is how are you making a boat out of nails?
Oh, easy.
Do go on.
I was gonna make a.
Man, that explanation's a lot harder when you're pressed, isn't it?
It isn't. I'm gonna make a pun, and it's gonna be a very good pun. And it's you make it with boards as well.
That's pretty decent. I like it.
Thank you. Because nails can mean two things.
Yep.
And you make a boat out of nails and boards, and then some pitch.
That's why it's such a good joke.
It's a very good joke.
It's even better now that you've explained it.
I make jokes so rarely on this podcast. Everything on this podcast is dead serious, as our flat earthers have told me. Cryptids did not receive the same attention. And we blatantly laughed at that one.
It's weird how often people are looking up flat earth, isn't it?
It's very odd. And how likely they are to click on a new flat earth thing without really looking at where it's coming from.
And just how willing they are to immediately comment on it.
So here's what I'm saying is you can make a boat out of anything. You just have to be able to make a deep enough craft to have buoyancy work on it. So it displaces more water.
And they have all of the nails from everybody who's died.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess it makes sense.
Yeah. And
that's why they need all of those nails.
Yeah, and you can grind it up. Are they whole nails? What I'm saying is you can grind up and mix it with epoxy.
Are they making nail cement?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying they're making nail
I guess
cement.
they might be. I don't know if they...
I don't know why.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like the most reasonable building material, but sure.
Imagine how metal that is. You're just hey man, my boat is made out of nails, and then you're underneath your breath, you're and some epoxy. Because I don't think you can't.
They don't have to know the and epoxy. That's fine.
Because you can't weave nails together. I mean, it's keratin, so maybe it's tied together with hair.
I mean, I guess maybe.
Does that make it more?
They don't take anyone's hair, but maybe whoever's making the boat just is
maybe they just need
has a lot of their own hair.
Yeah, maybe they just need less hair. I like the idea. Yeah, you can just make it out of cement. You can mix it with some sticky stuff, some sandstone, water.
All right, so that's nail boat and Simon's newest project explained.
Yeah, that's what this entire thing. A podcast is pivoting again to how to make podcast, whatever it is called.
Sure, yeah.
About cement, nail cement.
It's a let's build.
It's a let's build about nail cement. I've been saving my nails for the past 10 years, and we're gonna grind them up. And we're going to make some cement out of it. It's going to be fun, guys. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah, no, it sounds good. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. What I'm looking forward to is listening back to this episode and then hearing the weird mic volume changes.
Shenanigans that you went through?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
That's fine. I turned my volume down a third of the way in also.
Good.
So
awesome.
That'll be good for you. And it's only by a little bit.
Yeah, normally it doesn't affect it that much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot easier to change volume than it is to make someone more audible. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a bunch more. I'm
going to say
I have a whole book of this stuff, but I think we're good.
It's an hour and 19 minutes. We can always return to it. We can do other mythologies too.
Yeah. We can do one of those part 2s we keep alluding to.
Oh, that we only did one of. I think I don't even know what we have a part 2 for.
Cryptids, I think.
Yeah, we do. I mean, what we said we were going to do part 2.
Oh, yeah, no, I do not have a list of that.
I think we did Scooby-Doo as well. Someone tell us.
Someone who listens to this podcast, because we don't.
I do. I just don't listen to it in order. Yes. So
all right, is that it? Are we happy?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Cool. All right. So now that Simon is content,
that's what this podcast is about.
It's just satisfying Simon.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm here for.
Oh yeah, Jeff satisfies me every day.
That's
true.
It's a good way to live.
I mean, it is.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's nice to make other people happy.
Yeah,
you know?
and I'm an easy man to satisfy. Does not take much.
It's just, yeah, every now and then, just the random joke, random
goof bit,
boat-based pun.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Please, we haven't riffed for 20 minutes before we got into the outro. Continue.
Well, it's because now it's occurring to me again. Why not just use wood?
Because that's not as intimidating as using nails.
Sure. But also,
would work a lot better.
And way easier to get a hold of.
Yeah.
You have to use a lot of dead people to get that much nail.
Yep, you're not wrong.
I like the idea that maybe, oh man, you know what'd be like scary, really scary? Is
it a giant world-sized snake?
Nah, that's like...
Who's also one of Loki's children?
Nah, he sounds friendly. And like, I would want to like hang with him a little bit.
All right, to each your own.
No, what I'm saying is if that boat, okay, so you make a boat out of wood, okay, and then you steal the nails off a bunch of dead people, and then you hammer those nails so that they're stuck in the wood like pennies.
Right.
So that when you see the boat, it's like covered in like just like gross nails, and like it's like like an armor.
Yes, that good human nail scale mail.
But I don't think
everyone should have on the side of their boat.
I don't think it's effective. But I do think it's scary. That's like identifiable.
Oh yeah,
this person,
100%. It would be scary.
This person went to the trouble of hammering nails, human nails, into the side of the boat. I'm not gonna mess with them. They can do whatever they want. Like,
yes, sir. You have won Ragnarok. Right this way.
Yeah. Yes, sir, but destroy the world. Yes, please. It's gonna be destroyed anyway. At least this way I get to do it on my own terms. My own agency. And my agency is telling me I'm not gonna mess with the person who stole a bunch of people's nails.
This guy's crazy. I'm not gonna mess with that.
Exactly. There you go. Now we can end the episode, because now we got like they got that teaser at the end. That like nice good juice that people want to, so they'd be like, fine, I'll listen to that's what
they're coming for.
Oh yeah. That's
the rest of the episode is just
it's homework,
like your tax for this.
Yeah.
For this little nugget of goodness at the end.
It's your Scot. That's what a Scot is, by the way.
What?
A Scot's a tax. When someone says you got off scot-free, it's tax-free.
Okay.
I'm just bringing it up because it felt like you wanted to know.
I mean, I did want to know.
I have my hand.
I just wasn't expecting the explanation to happen right now.
I have my hand.
I do appreciate it,
stuck inside of the clamp for my pop filter, and I cannot get it.
All right. Well, I think with that, everyone else can meet us at pedantichandwavium.com or on Twitter at phandwavium or on the YouTube. Send us show suggestions. What else we got? Thanks, Joe Sopchak, for the theme music.
Mm-hmm.
And goodbye, everybody. Good night. We love you. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. I have to talk Simon through how to get his hand out of a clamp.
I figured it out. It was just
it
was tough. I had to like hold the clamp so it was unscrewing the entire piece and not just the handle piece.
That's exactly what I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
You're such a clever fella.
I know.
You know that?
It's like,
has anyone ever told you that before?
Well, my handlers did. My little chimpanzee handlers did.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Do you want to mention your stream?
Yeah, nah, probably not.
Okay.
I hate it. It's the worst.
Good.
Yeah, sure. For everyone, I was streaming twice. I don't like doing it, but maybe I'll get bored and do it again sometime.
Well,
check it out. Maybe at twitch.tv/nogoodhandles.
I think Jeff should do it with me more often, but I also work a lot.
Yeah, the problem is like when I game, I'm like quiet and contemplative and like thinking about what I'm doing and not like narrating what I'm doing and like being a good streamer. I'm bad at being a streamer.
Some would say that you're bad at being a podcaster too. Not me, but some.
And some people would be right.
Funny. Just
self-deprecating jokes.
All right, yeah, we can
yes, that's it. We did the outro. You can cut this whenever you want.
Who
Simon.
knows
Goodbye
how much
again,
this episode's
everybody.
gonna last.
In case Simon keeps everything in. Good night. Goodbye. We love you again. And still.